have reality to be focused on me. I'm on TV. I am a Vidiot.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final episode about the comic books that we picked to just randomly talk about. I'm Philip Williams, and this is Vidiot On Demand, and I have with me my co-host, Oscar Stävemyr.
What up, y'all?
What up, y'all? Now, we've been talking about a lot of different comic books. We talked about DC, Marvel. We talked about why The Last Man.
Yeah, another day that ends in Y.
Exactly. So here we go. Our final comic that we're going to talk about outside of those two worlds. What do you got for me?
Well, I got a little comic from Dynamite Entertainment called Zorro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this is the Dynamite Entertainment original comic book series focusing on the legendary Zorro. And this book is written by Matt Wagner, who's also the art director for this book. He's done a lot of work for DC. He's drawn Batman, he's written Batman, and some of the art is done by Francesco Francavalli, I think his name is. Sorry if I butchered that name. He's also worked on some Batman issues as well. But this is a new retelling of the legend of the Fox, if you will. And this book takes inspiration from a lot of different iterations of the character, but it does its own thing, and it does it so great. This is a character that has existed now for about 100 years now. He was first introduced in a novel back in 1919. Yeah, so he's old.
I didn't realize.
He's old school.
Yeah.
And he got a movie about him like only a year later, back in 1920, with Douglas Fairbanks.
Oh my gosh, that is so...
That is so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but as I said, so this comic run borrows a lot of stuff from both the original book, some of the movies, some of the TV shows, some of the other comic book adaptations, and it manages to create its own, like, Zorro universe, which I'm so happy that I started reading about. A lot of things are the same, but some things are very different. Like, one of the major differences from any other Zorro stories is that Diego de la Vega, Zorro's secret identity, and Bernardo, his usual manservant, are actually brothers in this iteration.
Okay.
But not by blood, however. They call themselves Milk Brothers, because Bernardo's mother was the wet nurse for Diego. And so they treat each other like brothers, and as kids, you know, you don't really think about class at all, class or race. So they start playing with each other, they start growing up with each other, and they do basically everything together. So the story begins with Bernardo and Diego as children, and in the flashbacks with them as children, Bernardo can actually talk, because usually Bernardo is depicted as a mute, so he doesn't speak. And that also leads people to believe that he's also deaf, which is why Zorro often uses Bernardo to spy on different people, because they think he's deaf, so they can, like, talk about whatever. And so Bernardo will always report back to him. But in this comic run, we learn, they give us a reason as to why Bernardo is a mute, and it is very traumatic. Like with Why the Last Man, this book is not really for children, but it doesn't like indulge in all this like blood and debauchery and all that. It keeps it very classy though, which is something I really like. And what they do with the story is that they expand and explore upon the origin of Zorro. Like, why does he call himself Zorro? Like, what meaning does a fox have to Diego? What did he study when he was over in Spain? And how did he become so skilled of a swordsman? And are there maybe something more to his origin that we didn't initially know? And and they also explain like why Diego's secret identity became this flamboyant sort of character, which is really cool because they explain all the things from all kind of different iterations, and it's so great. But what I love is the writing for the characters, because during the entire series is told in the now, when Zorro starts appearing, and also in flashbacks parallel with each other. So you get to see why Zorro does what he does, why Diego becomes so determined to fight for justice and fight for the innocent people who couldn't fight for themselves and all that. And we get to meet the different people that inspires him along the way as well. And for the first time, this is completely new to me at least, we get to meet Diego's mother. Because this is a character that we rarely see in any Zorro kind of media. And it's really interesting how she affects him, and how the tragedy behind her death, spoilers by the way, how it affected him to become more resolute in fighting injustices and all that. And yeah, the art is also fantastic. Like, they depict the sword fights in such a great way, and you can almost swear you can see the motion when they like swing the sword, when they do the horse riding or whatever they do, because it's so freaking fantastic. The writing for the characters is fantastic. Diego and Bernardo are kind of goofballs with each other, but it also explains as to why how different Zorro's how different the identity of Zorro is from Diego, because Diego makes a conscious choice to be portrayed as this flamboyant billionaire Don, so to speak. It's very funny when he first arrives back in California after so many years. He's like, "Oh, this doff California weather doesn't agree with me at all. And oh, here's my servant Bernardo. Oh, he's such a lazy man, but he's good for something at least." And I love that, because that is something to me that is so interesting, and it kind of harkens back to sort of like what Batman did, and it's sort of poetic because Batman was so inspired by Zorro, so it's kind of fun to see that they borrow a bit of things from Batman as well.
Exactly. Yeah. That's awesome, because, I mean, I remember liking Zorro when I was a kid. Zorro, there was a really kind of cheesy TV show that was on here in Sweden that I remember I would catch every few episodes.
Duncan Regehr, yeah.
And then... yeah, I don't even remember that. I just remember it's like, yeah, this is... But then The Mask of Zorro came out, directed by Martin Campbell, starring your boy Antonio Banderas, and everybody's favorite Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Muy caliente.
Oh, so good. Yeah, so all of that was so amazing. And it's a shame that the sequels didn't really live up to
Yeah, no, but what is so cool is that they also take like a visual cue from The Mask of Zorro as well. Because Zorro in this iteration doesn't have a mustache.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have a mustache.
Okay.
He only puts on like a fake mustache when he's Diego.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. And I do think when they draw some of the characters, that they use like some of the likenesses for the people in The Mask of Zorro, though I can't be 100% sure about that. It's just my interpretation of it all.
Okay. So now, is this the same run? Because I do remember that they did release a comic book where they did a crossover with Zorro and Django from Django Unchained.
This is the very same Zorro that does that crossover.
Okay, that is cool. So for those of you who are more film fans, and you're like, what is this all about? And I know about Django, but then you should check out that comic book, because they do meet up.
Do.
That's I haven't read it though.
I haven't read it either, but I'm definitely going to, because I loved this run so much. And I can't recommend it enough. Like, if you're a fan of Zorro, it doesn't matter if you're a casual fan or if you're a hardcore fan, I highly recommend that you read this, and I hope that you won't be disappointed by this.
Yeah, well, there you have it. That is an awesome pick. We got Zorro up in this house. Of course we need to talk about Zorro. Genuinely, probably the original superhero when you think about it.
You could argue that, yeah, you could.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much, Oscar Stävemyr. I know you have something to plug. You might as well talk about your audio drama that you are a part of.
For those of you who don't know, I am somewhat of an amateur voice actor, and right now I am in a production of X-Men the audio drama, and we just released the second episode, which is a two-parter. So we just released the first part of the very beloved X-Men comic storyline, God Loves, Man Kills.
Good stuff, good stuff. So that's where we can find you if you want to hear some of your voice playing a horrible character.
Playing a few horrible characters and getting my ass kicked once again by Wolverine. That's me.
Awesome. There you go. And yes, with me, you can find me on my social media, Phillip Williams and or Vidiot On Demand. And please like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up if you want. Do all that stuff. Share this and comment below. What do you guys think about Zorro or any of the other comic books that we mentioned during this series? Did you read it and like it? Or is there a specific Zorro comic that isn't a part of that you're like, no, this one's even better? Let us know. I want to know. So thank you once again. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know what that was.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We did it.